Rumeysa Ozturk, the next in the line of activists that were wrongfully detained for the crime of saying, hey, guys, personally, I think turning Palestinian children into mulch might be a bad thing. Now, that might be a bit of an edgy, controversial take. I might be like, I could be being a little hyperbolic here. I could be saying a lot of nonsense. Like, I might be be doing a little bit of trolling here. But personally, I think turning children into mulch, it's a bad thing. Controversial, I know, but like, I'm just saying. Murdering children, that might be a bad thing. But anyway, what do you got here? So if I recall correctly, Rumeysa Ozturk, she was detained by ICE, by some like plainclothes officers. They literally just walked up on her and just blackbagged her, like quite literally. And her crime, she wrote an op-ed. That's all she did. She wrote an op-ed, and well, because she was a student at Tufts, and I think it's Pennsylvania. I believe it's in Pennsylvania, but all she did was, hey, I wrote an op-ed, and then the government detained me. So, Massachusetts. Thank you, Boy Meets Mini. So it was Massachusetts, where ICE just like walk up on her and was just like, no, you can't actually do that because we hate free speech. Because, like I've said before, like free speech has never been a thing that conservatives have ever cared about. They never will care about it. They never have cared about it. It's a farce. It's quite literally just like an excuse, as described by I don't know how many video essayists we've watched on this channel at this point, of basically an excuse of like an issue that like everyone should technically support, and is used as a radicalization tool to sort of, well, get more people in on the sort of like mechanisms for radicalization. And also it's like a very easy sort of gateway entry point for a lot more further right sort of positions, when in reality, if you see the behavior of the right and you think, oh yeah, these guys are generally free speech, even though they are the most anti-free speech people, like literally look on like Twitter, for fuck's sake, you get censored for saying the term cis. Ridiculous. But, well, what do we got here? So we all know that she got blackbagged for the crime of writing an op-ed. Like, that's literally all she did, and she was blackbagged as a result, probably under the same justification as Mohsen Mahdawi, as Mahmoud Khalil. All of these people also detained, and that's quite literally it. Or dictators will tell Elon, censor my descendants or dissidents, and he complies. That's exactly right, Boy Meets Mini. Literally, Elon will just censor, like, because he did this for the Turkish government, and he did it for the Indian government, right? Because they threatened to be like, we're gonna not let access to Twitter on our bandwidth anymore if you don't, censor our dissidents. Oh, and in Pakistan, nice meme, lefties, Pakistan's not good. Honestly, no one in our new IP conflict is good. Anywho, silly tangent aside. So she got blackbagged for just writing an op-ed. What we got here? A bail hearing for Tufts student Rumeysa Ozturk is underway in federal court in Vermont. Ozturk is attending via Zoom from a detention center in Louisiana. They sent her to fucking Louisiana. Nice. Judge William Sessions III is on the bench, and Liz Crampton is in the room. Ozturk has been sworn in, is preparing to testify for the release of her detention. She has spent her direct testimony discussing her humanitarian work related to child development and the increased frequency of asthma attacks since her detention. She also says Tufts has offered her housing should she be released. Well, that's nice. What? Yep, same prison Mahmoud is held in. It's a Supermax facility. Really? A Supermax facility for what? A dude who organized some fucking drum circles and another dude who fucking just wrote an op-ed? Sure, man. Testimony is over. The government declined to cross-examine her. Breaking. Rumeysa Ozturk must be released from detention, a federal judge ruled Friday. So we got some good news. Nice. Describing her incarceration as an egregious First Amendment violation that could chill the speech of millions. Whoa. Time for all the stupid, dumbass conservatives to get triggered about this. Because, like, quite literally, like, this is, it's so blatant and obvious why this happened. Her crime. She wrote an op-ed saying, hey, you know, murdering all those Palestinian kids, kind of a bad thing. And I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And new, a federal judge ordered the immediate release of Rumeysa Ozturk from ICE custody, warning her detention over an op-ed could chill the speech of millions. And so that's what the judge said in Vermont. Lovely. And here's her getting out of the ICE processing facility in Louisiana. She's been released from South Louisiana ICE processing center in Basile. Basile? I'm pretty sure this should be Basile because Louisiana was colonized by the French, if I recall correctly. They were colonized by the French, which is why they have a bunch of French names and elements in there. As Ozturk walked out of the detention center, she said thank you to the press with her hands over her heart. Whoa, wait, hold on. Oh, hands over heart. Pepe. Nah, I'm just kidding. Ozturk declined to speak, saying, thank you so much. I'm a little bit tired, so I'll take some time to rest. You know, for being in a Supermax facility, I get it. I understand. I think that's pretty reasonable. But yeah, what? So, I'm not sure what's happened to Boy Meets Mini, do you know if Mahmoud Khalil has he been released yet? There was, Mohsen Mahdawi got released, right? After that stupid fucking weird-ass honeypot the ICE tried to do with, Mohsen's, naturalization test. Has Mahmoud Khalil been released? Well, the AI overview says no, so not yet. No, he's still in prison and not charged yet. Oh, so he's just detained. Great. What if they just do the strategy of just keeping him in detention, right? Apparently his challenge to his detention is moving forward. That's cool. So this is just moving along, basically. Okay. Bid to remain in the United States survives after a New Jersey federal judge decided Tuesday he could retain jurisdiction over the case. Khalil had claimed he was detained and targeted for deportation because of his speech at pro-Palestinian protests on the Columbia campuses and challenged his detention based on the constitutionality of the State Department's finding that his continued presence in the country could have a serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States, which is very silly, but whatever. This is the world that we fucking live in, right? So it's belonged in his courtroom. So basically, it's moving forward, and this judge, Michael Fabriars, belongs in his courtroom, and then he can and he's the one who's going to overlook this case. Did not have the ability to look under the hood of Khalil's claims. If there needs to be fact-finding here, it may potentially be sprawling, and it may potentially involve sensitive evidence or renewed requests to depose senior officials. Fabriars said, this is not the kind of fact-finding work the immigration courts have been built for. Okay. So the dude's taking this case because he doesn't think that the immigration courts are appropriate for taking a case like this. Because, you know, Mahmoud's arguments are basically like, hey, they're trying to deport me because I said, hey, you know, guys, maybe Palestinian children shouldn't be turned into mulch. And honestly, I'm partial to that position. I think that's a pretty understandable position to have. I, too, also believe that Palestinian children shouldn't be turned into mulch. Now, I understand this may be a controversial take. You know, I might be being a little silly here, a little goofy, haha, funny. But personally, I don't think that Palestinian kids should be murdered because Israel just wants to do a genocide. I'm just saying. Previously found that the Newark court can retain its jurisdiction over the case in a decision issued earlier this month. The judge wrote that there will still be other jurisdiction hurdles to consider before reaffirming in his latest opinion that the case can stay in his courtroom. So for the time being, it's going to just be in court, and they're going to probably do legal proceedings and see like if the administration has anything to say about this, basically. So he's going to still be in detention. He's not probably going to be released for a little while as this proceeds through court. So all you can do in this particular case is just, well, wait. Of course, the federal government tried to move the case to Louisiana. Why the fuck would you move it to Louisiana? You arrested him in New York, so it should probably stay broadly within that jurisdiction. I mean, the fact that it's even being taken up in the New Jersey, but I guess it's because it's in probably the same circuit courts, which is why it's probably staying there. So you can't like they want to move it because they're gonna probably get a more beneficial sort of they're probably going to get a more beneficial sort of outcome because what they want to do, obviously, because again, like I said before, conservatives hate free speech. They don't care about free speech. It's just a nonsense issue that they try to needle and dime over because again, they hate you. They want to just send him out because it's beneficial to Israel. That's literally the reasoning why. Same reason why they wanted to do it to Mohsen Mahdawi. It's the same reason why they wanted to do it to Rumeysa Ozturk. They just hate the fact that they're speaking out against Israel. That's all that it is. Like I've said before, don't let these complete fucking charlatans and freaks gaslight you into thinking that this is all about free speech, that this is all about, the policy goals of the foreign policy apparatus of the United States. No, they're just trying to deport them and get rid of them to the benefit of Israel. That's literally all that it is. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're full of shit. So keep in mind, remember, every single time that free speech is exercised in a way that challenges power, conservatives and liberals as well tend to freak out about that all the time. They don't like the fact that you're challenging their fundamental seats of power. Again, what have I constantly said before? What are conservatives' primary goals? Maintenance of control and hierarchy. Never forget that. That's what it always has been all about with these motherfuckers. They don't care about your well-being. They don't care about what you think. In fact, generally speaking, they hate about the stuff that you think about. So never forget what this is truly all about. Ever. It is about maintenance of hierarchy and control. You are the one on the bottom and they're the ones on the top. Never forget that. And they'll pretend to care about like all these other like distractionary issues as like a sort of just like try to jingle the keys in front of you. Be like, oh wait, no, it's about this or it's about that. Nuh-uh, Always focus on the one thing and one thing only. They hate the fact that you're challenging their power. That's what it is. Because stuff like this can challenge power. Now, is it going to have an effect on the sort of foreign policy apparatus of the U.S.? Probably not. But I think you can think of the only reasons as to why all these motherfuckers are trying to do this kind of stuff. It's because, we're kind of afraid about losing our sort of power and our position here in order to be able to be, the worst humans on the planet. Never forget that. They're afraid. They're afraid of losing. And that's why you have to keep pushing to try to get, Mahmoud Khalil free because, they have no basis for any of their arguments. It's complete, utter bullshit. They've even said this in court that they have, no basis for, anything. They're saying they're just following their orders. So never forget, it's complete bullshit. It's an attempt at a distraction so they can push forward with more, generally speaking, more heinous actions, more heinous rulings on things that can take away your civil liberties. Never forget that.